Ellie Cawthorne is from the History
Extra
podcast. What's the extra?
If you love history and you just want more of it, you need extra.
Now, we know that traditionally history programs have been done by public service broadcaster, in a way kind of part of their remit to educate, inform and entertain. But what works differently when you're doing it for a podcast as opposed to history you would hear on BBC Radio 4 in the UK, Radio 1 in Ireland or whatever?
I guess it's a lot more informal. So yeah, we're talking to academics, we're talking to leading historians, but I think the intimacy of the podcast format just allows you to break down those kind of barriers of it being a lecture or this being kind of a talk given by some historian. And I think that makes it a lot more accessible to many people.
What's the format of the podcast? How many voices will we hear in it? What's the length of it? Is it live? Is it recorded on location?
So we make 6 episodes a week.
Wow.
Yeah,
you make 6 a week?
A lot. So I'm quite tired a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But it's interview-based format mainly. So it's usually one of our editorial team interviewing a historian about something. But we also make more produced in-depth series, so documentary style. So they might be about the assassination of Julius Caesar or the 6 wives of Henry VIII. You know, these big blockbuster history topics that anyone can get involved in, yeah.
And when you're doing 6 a week, so it's one guest, one topic per program?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, different person every time.
In a studio or recorded over Zoom or a mix?
So a mix really, but we use Riverside, so we can speak to people. I mean, we talk to quite a lot of academics in the US as well, so obviously it allows us to do that, but sometimes, if we've got a big name, we do want to get in a studio and go face to face.
Now, what's the reaction been from the listeners?
Great. I mean...
Amazing.
Obviously
the best podcast in the history of podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a very, very loyal listener base, so we've been going more than 15 years, and people have stuck with us through that whole journey. So we get emails from people saying, I've been there since day one. We've made 1,600 episodes as well.
Wow.
So the fact that we're able...
that much history? Are you making it up at this stage?
There is always more history, I promise you. History is always changing. History is never just in the past, I would say. So, yeah.
That was very nice. I like that. How long have you been working on it?
So I've worked on the team, the kind of wider editorial team for 8 years now, but not always as a podcast editor, which I am now. So, I mean, I started as an intern back in the day, and now I'm podcast editor.
Is it hard to always get it right when you're trying to be more nimble and export 6 episodes a week? Because I know a good friend of mine produces the history show for RT Radio 1, the public broadcaster in Ireland, and there's such scrutiny from historians and academics that everything has to be right. Now they have a whole week and a team of people to get one episode together, and still sometimes they might, they get emails saying this wasn't factually correct. Do you find that difficult?
Oh, yeah, it's always a challenge, but I think it's a huge consideration. It's at the basis of everything we do, that we have to be factually correct, we have to be reliable, we have to be trustworthy. That is what our brand is built on. So I think the most important thing is that we talk to people who really know their stuff. We're not bringing anybody off the street and asking them what they think about the British Empire. We're talking to the people who are writing the books about it, who are, professors and experts in their field. So I think that if you have good relationships with the people who really, really know what they're talking about, then hopefully you're on safe ground to begin with.
Hey, congratulations on all your success and thank you.
Thank you so much.